Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Delta Entertainment. I am your host, Lika Kenobi. And before we get started, I'd like you guys please hit that like button and please subscribe to my channel. Would appreciate that very, very much. All right, let's get into this. So, we got an article that talks with Rian Johnson on his future project on the Star Wars movies. So let's see what is going on here. Rian Johnson still wants to make his Star Wars trilogy. Claims it hasn't happened only because of Knives Out. Now, Rian Johnson, who directed The Last Jedi, actually splitted the Star Wars fan base, bro. Now, when I looked at the trailer, it looked pretty good and everything and all. But when I actually went to the movie theater at the midnight session, the theater was silent as golden. Like actual silence. Like there was no cheering, no crying, no laughter, nothing. That tells you that the movie was bad. I mean, it was terrible. I mean, they made Luke Skywalker into Jake Skywalker. They made Rey into a nobody. Finn and Poe were helpless. And they were trying to make Poe fall in love with Rey and Finn to fall in love with Rose. They killed off Snook. They made Leia into a goddess. And they made Kylo into a crybaby. It was just, the movie was terrible. And in the end of the movie, they were showing a glimpse that other kids out there had the Force too. But that never happened because when Rise of the Skywalker came out, that continuation never happened. So Rian Johnson ruined the trilogy. And not only when he ruined that trilogy, he also ruined the Mandalorian and Grogu series because Favreau and Dave Filoni had to probably rewrite the scripts after that movie, and they couldn't get away with it. They didn't want to try to canonize it. But well, let's see what this article has. Let's see. Rian Johnson has finally spoken out about the long-disappeared Star Wars trilogy. He was supposed to be helmed after directing the much reviled Star Wars Episode 7, The Last Jedi. No, Episode 8, The Last Jedi. My bad. And his explanation, he just really, really got into directing mysteries. In a new interview with Independent, Johnson laughed of the lack of progress on the Star Wars films that Lucasfilm once proudly announced would be his brainchild. That announcement made in 2013, just before The Last Jedi hit theaters, teasing a brand new trilogy set in the galaxy far, far away, unrelated to the Skywalker saga, and helmed by Johnson himself. Now, years later, with no script, no cast, no production timeline, and no official cancellation, Johnson says the reason it hasn't happened is simple. His 2019 film Knives Out. What happened, Knives Out? Said cheerfully when asked about his trilogy. I mean, I kind of went down the murder mystery rabbit hole. I'm focused on making other stuff, but that wouldn't rule out it happening down the line. If I get back in the Star Wars universe someday, I'd be the happiest person. Yeah, the happiest person. Person that ruined Star Wars. Yeah, you'd be the happiest person to ruin Star Wars. But I will say this: the one thing that I liked about Rian Johnson that he made Mark Hamill look like a fool in the theater in the movies. That's what I'm happy about. But still, it was just terrible, man. Let's be honest. Johnson didn't walk away from Star Wars because he was busy writing quirky dialogue for Benoit Blanc in a movie that came out 6 years ago. He walked away or was quietly walked out because The Last Jedi split the fanbase down the middle like a lightsaber through a tantrum. His film may have been praised in certain critic circles for subverting expectations, but among the actual Star Wars fanbase, it's widely regarded as the most divisive and, in many circles, the most destructive entry in the entire saga. From reducing Luke Skywalker to a grumpy hermit who milks alien sea cows, to tossing aside Snoke without explanation, to turning Poe into a reckless insubordinate, Johnson's choices weren't just controversial, they were radioactive. The fan backlash was swift, loud, and enduring. Social media lit up with campaigns to remake the film, petitions to strike it from canon, and widespread disdain that still lingers 7 years later. Johnson's name became mud among large swaths of the franchise's most loyal supporters, but you wouldn't know that from what he tells it. I feel like I've had such a wonderful, lovely, positive experience with the fans during the course of it. He told Independent, adding it that it made him an even bigger Star Wars fan than before. That sound you hear, it's the collective groan of the fan base who remember just how far the Last Jedi derailed the sequel's trilogy momentum. Johnson even compared the fans' war over the Last Jedi to World Wars, literally. That was World War One, and this was World War Two, which would make Disney's damage control effort the Marshall Plan, apparently. What makes his comments even more baffling is how Lucasfilm has treated the whole situation. Johnson's trilogy hasn't been officially canceled, but it hasn't been mentioned in any recent Star Wars roadmap either. Not at Celebration, not at D23, not in an investor meeting. It's been ghosted harder than a bad Tinder date. Kathleen Kennedy once claimed they were waiting on his schedule. That schedule apparently is booked solid in with the Southern Fried Detective and Netflix deals. Sorry guys, it's just that I'm a little blurry still because I'm a little tired. So God, I hate this. So now we're left with this: a man who detonated the central arc of the Skywalker saga, casually tossing out a line about how he might return to the Star Wars one day if the mood strikes him, as if the whole fanbase is just waiting with open arms. It's almost impressive, really. Only Rian Johnson could burn down the house, then act surprised when no one invites him back to dinner. I don't think this trilogy will ever happen, bro. I don't think this will not happen. I mean, because Kathleen Kennedy did announce that his trilogy is still going on, which rather likely. But this, like I said, dude, I mean, Rian Johnson, he may be a good director in other movies, man, I believe. But for him to do Star Wars, he completely changed everything, bro. He completely destroyed the fan base. It all started with this movie. This movie started it all. I believe Rogue One came out before The Last Jedi. I believe it did. But like I said, as soon as this movie came out, bro, the fan base started to die. It started to really die, bro. And it was just sad, bro. Jesus. Well, you guys let me know in the comments what you guys think of this. So thank you for watching this video. And I would appreciate if you guys could do me a favor as to share this video, post a comment below, let me know your thoughts. And as always, thank you for being part of the channel. And I hope to see you guys until next time. Bye, everyone.